Hello everyone, this is Manoj. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are building a React mini project, a product catalog with add, delete and search features. It's a fully responsive and styled with CSS Grid. This is a great exercise for interviews or portfolio projects. So before starting the actual development, so as you can see on your screen, we have this project. So you can see these are some cards which are showing the product detail. This is the image and this is the title, this is the price, and we have a particular remove button with each and every single product card. And this the name, the image, if you see, this is coming from an API. So we are also using a third-party API within this project. So I'll show you how we can do it. First, if you see, let me quickly add a item. So let's say mobile and price is 10,000. So you can see we are also getting the toast notification. So I have also added that toast library in the project. So you can see the fourth project, that is mobile, is added over here. And if I try to add same product, so we have a validation on product name as well. So you can see same product is already added. So if I change it to, let's say, laptop, so you can see the laptop has been added with the same price. All right. And if I try to filter, so let's say if I give a single character a, so you can see whatever value we are providing within this text box, so that is going to match all the products. Let's say if I try to search the single product, so it is filtering out. So this will be the complete project which we are going to develop from the scratch. So within this project you will learn JavaScript, reactjs, CSS, as well as how we can mock our data. All right, that is also an interview question, how you can use dummy data before creating your React component. Let's say you are working on a React project, but your backend, the API which is responsible to give you a response, that is not completed or that is in progress. So you don't have any actual JSON response, right? So before having that actual JSON response, how you will build your component, right? So in that case, this project will help you how you can create a mock data and create your components without any API backend response. All right. So let's get started. So first we have to create a new reactjs project. So let's go to a folder. So this is our folder. So let's open cmd from here and give a command npx create react app. So react product app. So this will create our new application called react product app. So this will take a while, so just wait. So project has been created. So let's quickly go to this folder. So cd and the project name. Now code space dot. So this will open our this new project in VS Code. As you can see, the project is open now in the project. So yes, I trust the author. Okay. So this is our new project. So I hope you are aware of this default file and folder structure. So the first tab, let's create a mockup JSON. All right. So within the source folder, let's create a new file called mockdata.js. So here we'll create a new array. So export const products, and here, so let's create some objects. So first object will be have it will have ID as one and title, let's say jacket, and price, let's say 49.99, because price will be in a decimal format. All right. So we are in India, so I'm considering two decimal place. Let's say if you are in a country where your currency is about three decimal place, so you can use three. All right. So we have three objects, so let's give the IDs unique ID, so 1 2 3, and second product will be shoes, and third will be, let's say, hat, and price, and shoes are a little costly, so let's say 89. So we have created our mock data. So this I was talking about in the introduction of this video. So this mockup data will help you to create your component, because see, uh, in every React component, what we do, either we post data from UI to backend, or we fetch from backend and display on the front end. So this data you can use as a mockup data just to display your product, and to create the complete UI. All right, so our mockup data.js is completed. Now in the second the step, let's create a new file called product.js. So products.js. So here let's import React from React, and we will use state as well, so use state, and now import our mockup data. So import, what is the name here, products. Okay, so import products from mock data, and create the component const products, and here let's use a state, so const product list, and a setter function set product list, and let's put the initial product as products. So initially whenever we render this component, so it will get all the data from this mock data. All right, save. Now let's return. First let's create a div, let's give it this name as grid container, and within this we need to render the products. So product list dot map, and here item dot item and index, not dot. Here we'll create some cards. Okay, so this is our container. Within this, whatever items we have, I mean each object we will render as a card. All right, which will also have a hover effect, as I shown in the beginning of the video. So let's create a div within this, and also give a class name as card, and also give a key as index. Now here, first let's render image, and source will be, I'll tell you, we'll get the source from a dummy API, that is https placehold dot go, and sorry dot go, that is the base URL, and then the size, so 600 into 400, and then we have a property, the query string text, and here what we need to do is we need to pass the title, whatever title we are getting. So in the item dot title, so what it will do, it will generate a image for us based on the title. Now second thing is we need to give the title, so item dot title, and after that we need to display the price. So let's give dollar as static. So item dot price, and as I mentioned, we have two decimal places, so let's use 2 fixed by 2. Save. So first let's try to export default products. Save. So first let's try to run this project, and then we'll add the CSS on it. So npm start. Yes, I have something other application running on 3000 port, so this will run on 3000. Okay, now what we need to do is, let's close this out first. Here let's go to app.js. We don't need this, and import products from product. Save. So you can see image is not being displayed. Let me see why. Oops, I guess here this will be X. Save. Yes, so this will be 600 x 400. Okay, so our product are rendered. Now let's give some CSS on it. So let's go back to the project. So here create a new file, products.css, and first, so in this one, let me close this as this all. Here import our CSS file. So import products.css. Our first class is grid container. So let's copy this name, go to CSS dot and grid container. So this will create a grid container class. So first of all, let's display all the cards as grid. Save. Okay. Now we need to add grid template columns. So we need to repeat 3 columns. So the ask within this exercises, we have to display maximum 3 grids, 3 cards within this grid. All right, so repeat 3 1 fr. Save. So we have 3 cards within the same row. All right, that is completed. Now let's give, as of now you can see there is no gap between these cards, so let's give some gap. So gap, let's say 20 px. Save. Okay, now let's also give some padding. Let's say 20 px. Okay, so we have padding as well, and let me give also a background color. So we have background color f5 f5 f5. Save. Okay, so we also have the background. Now the second class we have as card. Okay, so now let's add card CSS as well. So background color first, let's add white color, and let's give border radius 10 pixel, and let's also give padding as 10 pixel. Save. Let's see. Okay, now let's put everything in center. Okay, sorry, card is missing. Save. See, so all is coming in center. Now let's add some CSS for this image. So this image within this card div, all right, the class name is card and this image is within this div. So let's come here. So first let's add the class as card and then image. So width, let's say 100%, height, let's say 200 pixel, and we'll also make this as a cover. Okay, so for that we can use object fit as cover. Save. All right, so you can see earlier, if I remove this, so you can see how it is looking, but if you see with cover, it is coming as a complete cover. All right, it is looking nice. So our card image is also good. Now let's make some CSS for this title as well. Okay, so title is also within this one, h1 is also within this card. So dot card h1, let's give some font size, let's say 1.5 rem, and also give some margin, so 15 px and 0. So it will take 15 from top, 15 from bottom, and left, right, 0. Save. Cool. Now we also have a paragraph tag within this card. So now we have to create CSS for this paragraph. So card p. So here let's give font size to this as well. So font size, let's say 1.5 rem. Let's make the h1 as 2 rem. Okay, so it will give you some difference between both of them like this. And also make this bold, and let's give a color. For this we can give 2C3E50. Save. Okay, so this is not a complete black, this is little gray. So now if you can see, we have added, we have rendered our product based on the mock data, based on this array, and we have added some CSS for this grid container as well as for this card and the within the elements within this card, image h1 and p. All right, now but if you see, if I inspect to this and if I go to mobile, so you can see this is not mobile responsive, right? So again, the second question which was the interviewer asked is, for tablets it will display two columns, for mobiles it will display one column, but for big screens it will display, it will stick to three columns. All right, so now let's add some responsive media query to this. All right, now let's go to the CSS, and here, so we can add media, and here, so if max width is, let's say 992 pixel, then let me copy this and simply copy this grid template, and here it will display 2. All right, so if I again go here, you can see if I say 100%, so the maximum width is 494, like this, 412 so this is coming within this range, so it is showing two columns. All right, now if I go another device, let's say phone, so now let's add media query for phone, so it will display single card for small devices like mobile. All right, so simply copy this, paste, and here the mobile screen size is maximum 576 pixel, and for this it will show only one column, so one fr. Save. So you can see for mobile it is showing single, and if I go, wait, do we have any? Okay, iPad mini. See, for the iPad it is showing, let's make 100%, two columns, and if we go to laptop or monitor or big screens, so it is showing three columns. All right, so now this is a complete responsive screen. So for big screens it will display three cards, for tablets it will display two cards, for mobiles it will display one card. All right, so we are done with our first step. Now in these cards we also need a delete button. All right, so let's add delete button as well. So in the products, so here let's add a button called remove, and to this button let's give a class name delete btn. Save. We have the button. All right, now let's write some css for this button as well. So go to product.css. Let's come down. Now the class name is delete btn. Let's copy the name dot delete btn. So let's give some padding, 8 pixel, 16 pixel. Okay, so 8 top and bottom, 16 left and right. Let's also give a background color red. Save. Okay, nice. And we are getting this black border, so let's remove border none. Save, and make the color as color white, and let's also give some border radius as 5 pixel. Save. Cool. Let's also change the pointer, the cursor, so the cursor pointer. Save. Cool. So this is looking a beautiful remove button. All right, now let's give some hover effect. So when I hover on it, let's change the background color. Okay, so delete button. So if you see, if I give hover, so this is called pseudo class. So what pseudo classes do, they give extra effect on your elements by applying some extra styling. All right, so we don't need to create separate, but we just need to put some extra this pseudo class, so it will change your look and feel. So let's change the background color as, let's say, black. Save. Cool. If I hover, nice. So initially it is rendered as red, like applying this class, but when we hover, so it changes its background color as black. Okay, cool. So our delete button is rendering properly with each and every card. Cool. Now we need to incorporate the delete functionality. So let's go back to our products. So here, now let's create one handler. So const handle delete, and this will ask one item ID, and here const. So what we'll do is we'll pass one item ID. Let me also give on click event, and here handle delete and item dot id. So it will use this id because this ID is unique. All right, we always use to delete and update, we always use a unique ID. All right, so it will pass this item ID to this handler delete handler, and it will do it whatever logic we are going to return right within this one. So what we are going to do is, whatever ID we will pass to this handler, it will skip that product from this product list and it will render the remaining products. All right, so how we can do that? So let me give filtered list is equal to, so product list dot filter and item dot id is not equal item id whatever we are passing from the delete button. All right, now we have filtered our items without the id which we are passing. All right, so now let's say we have removed, but in actual API implementation, what we do, we pass the item ID which we are going to delete to the API. Then it goes to the API part, and then it goes to the database part, and then we delete. Either we delete it permanently or we soft delete to make it active inactive. All right, so that is API part. So we have our filtered product. So now let's use set product list and provide this filtered list here. Save. So now our delete functionality is also ready. Let's go to the UI. Let me refresh first. And here, remove. It is removing. Refresh. Now let's add one thing over here. Let's add one confirmation. So if window dot confirm, are you sure to delete this record, or let's say product? If user confirms, then we only delete, otherwise we are doing nothing. Now let's refresh again. So remove, are you sure to delete this product? Okay, I want to delete. Remove, cancel, nothing is happening. Cool. So we are done our remove functionality as well. All right, I hope so far you are good to go and you have learned everything, because this is simple things. There is no hard and complex concepts. So I hope you are understanding each and every single point. Now next step is, let's add search bar over here to filter the products. Okay, so here to search, what we need to do is, we need to add one state to provide that input. Okay, so let's add const search term and set search term and use state. Save. So we have added one state. Now here on top of this grid container, we have to add one more div, and within this we have to add search bar. Sorry, the class name should be search bar. Class name search bar. And here we'll add one input. So input type text placeholder search products, and value will be our state at search term, and on change set search term e dot target dot value. Save. So we have added our search bar. Let's go to the UI. So search bar is coming over here. Cool. Now let's add the search functionality. Okay. So for that we have to use one use effect, and within that use effect we have to provide our search term as a dependency, because we need to filter the product the moment users start typing in the search box. All right, because we don't have any search button. So first user have to type in the input box and then user will click on the button. What we are going, we are filtering on runtime. Okay, on the fly we are filtering. So simply add use effect, and in the dependency let's give this search term. Okay, here first we'll see if there is something in search term. So on blank we are not going to filter our data. So if there is something in search term here, so again what we'll do, we'll filter our product list based on the input what user is providing. So const, let me copy this again, filtered list products dot filter item and item dot title. So we'll filter based on the name, and here we need to convert it to lowercase, title dot to lower case, then includes what, this search term, and we also need to make it to lowercase, not to local, only to lowercase. All right, so what it is doing, basically it is filtering the not product, basically it will filter the product list. Okay, so product list item, sorry, item dot title, but first it is converting that title into lowercase, and then it is checking that title includes the search term whatever user is trying to give in the input box in the search bar. All right, so now we have our filtered item. Now set product list, again this filtered list, save. Now let's refresh and try, see, and if I give refresh, if I give let's say a, so we have two inputs. Okay, now let's do one thing, basically we have to do, we have to filter from the products, from the initial products. Okay, not this one, and in the else part, if there is nothing, let's say if I typing this one, see it is not taking the initial state, so let's also make it as the initial one. So paste products, so now it will work. So if I say hat, see it is working, right? So if there is something in the search product input box, then it will search based on that, else it will return to its initial state. All right, now let's try to give some CSS or styling to this search product also. We have a class name search bar. All right, so let's say search bar, go to products.css to dot search bar here. So let's say display flex. So this is the container. Okay, So display flags and justify content center, so it will display the center. And let's also give margin top bottom margin 20 px and 0. Save. So it is coming in the center. Cool. Now our container is showing in the center. Perfect. Now we need to give some CSS to this input. This input is within this search bar. All right. So now again, let's copy this search bar, dot search bar, and then input. All right. Now let's give some padding to this. So let's say 10 px and 15 px. So 10 top bottom, 15 left and right. Cool. And let's add some width also to make it little larger. So 2 px, sorry, 250 px, not 2 px. And let's give some font size also. Let's say 1 rem, and sorry, 1 rem will come as together, no space will be there. And let's also give some border radius 5 px and border 1 px solid, little wheat kind of a color. Save. Perfect. You can see this is looking nice. So our search is also ready. Let's try again. If I give hat, nice. If I give only one a, so both contains a, so showing filtering the products. Perfect. So we are done with our search functionality as well. Now let's add another panel for adding a new product. All right, so let's go back to our product.js. So first we have to add two more state to add the product. So the first state will be to capture the title, the second will be to capture the price. So const product name set product name use state let's copy paste this same. So second one will be price, price. So we have added two states. Now let's add here another div, and this div will be a container for adding a new product. Okay, so let's give a name. Let's add product, and here let's add two inputs. So the first input text placeholder and title, and value will be product name, and on change set product name e dot e dot target dot value. Okay, let's copy this, paste, enter price, and value will be product price, and here set product price. Save. Okay, and after the second box, let's add one button, add product. Okay, and we have to give, let's add one on click, handle add. Now let's add one handler. So const handle add, and if first we'll also add one validation. So if this product name or is not product price, then we'll show user as return, let's say alert product title, sorry, product name and price both are mandatory. Save. Okay, now const new product, and let's create a project new object. So ID, let's consider new date and time. Okay, and title will be title product name, and price will be product price, and let's parse this to float as we have decimal values. All right, so pass float. So our object is ready. Now set product list. So this is an array. So first add it will take the existing products, and then it will add new product within that list, new product. And after that, let's make set product name as blank, and also the product price as blank. Save. Okay, so our handle add is also ready. Let's go to UI, save. If I add, let's say mobile, see, we are able to add. And but if you see, let's see the validation first. Both are mandatory. If I give name, both are mandatory. Perfect. Now let's see duplicate validation jacket. Let's say 100. No, it is adding, right? So let's add the duplicate validation as well. So here, before adding a new product, let's see if product exists. So here we'll check the product list dot sum item dot, sorry, item dot title equal product name. So if is not product exist, then it will go ahead and add this, else it will say product already exists. Okay, save. Now let's go back to the UI, refresh, and let's add jacket again. Add product already exists. Perfect, this is working. If I change the name, it is adding. Nice. So our validation is also working and we are able to add new product in our array on runtime. Okay, so far we don't have any API. We are maintaining our complete mockup data just to create the React component development. All right, now let's add some CSS as well for this. Let's go to the CSS part. So here the container is add product. So let's copy this. So dot add product. So again we have multiple items, so display flags, and we'll show them justify content center, and we also need flex wrap for this, so wrap, and we also need gap as 20 pixel, and we'll also give margin bottom 20 pixel. Save. It is coming over here. Nice. Now we have inputs as well. You can see we have input fields within this add product. So dot add product and then input 10px 15px, similar to our search bar. Let's copy this completely and paste. Perfect. Now we also have a button. Where is that button? Here. So let's add a class for button as well, so that that button is also within that add product div. So button padding, let's copy the same padding from here, and let's give background color, let's say blue, color white, and border none. We also have a button here. Yes, let's copy this. Save. Perfect. Nice. And let's add a hover effect also. Okay, so similar to this, when we hover, let's display the, let's change the color. Okay, so let's do that also. And again we'll use pseudo class hover. It should be colon. Background color black. Save. Cool. So both are working. Perfect. So you can see, and all is working. So now let's try to align these two divs within the same line. Okay, within the same alignment. So let's create a div class. Let's give it a name. Let's say input container, and put both these divs, add product and search bar, within this div. Save. Now let's copy this name, input container, go to product.css dot display flags. Okay, now let's add some margin 20px 0. Okay, and text align center. justify container, sorry, justify content center, align items, flex, and save. You see, nice. And now we also need to give gap between the divs. So let's say 20px, sorry, 20px save. So we also have a gap, and let's also give some padding, 20px from all four sides. Let's give some background color. So hash f9 f9 f9, and border bottom, that's a 1px solid. So you can see we can also see this div as a separate div. All right. So now one thing is left, that is to the hover effect on these cards. So when we hover, we need to know like it will give some effect. So when we hover, it will come out slowly, and then when we focus out, it will go to down slowly. So let's add this. So here in this card CSS, so let's add transition. So transition, so transform 0.5 seconds and ease in out, and we need to add one card hover pseudo class, and here let's add transform scale 1.05 save. So if you see, perfect. So this is how you can create a complete application from scratch. So within this, we have learned so many things. Like the first thing we add, how we can add a mockup data if we don't have any API or backend support. Second thing, how we can create responsive, component. So using media queries we have added, and using those we can create a responsive layout, and how we can create a grid system. So this is basically a grid system. All right, that is also a CSS or HTML or front-end developer interview question, and we are using a third-party API which is generating image based on the text. So this is all about this video. I hope you like this video. If you did so, hit the like button, share, comment, and I have an announcement. Let's say if you're working on any of your college project, or you're doing an internship, or if you are a professional working on reactjs, javascript, .NET core, SQL, MySQL, all that, any API, REST APIs, and if you're facing any kind of problem in your office project or internship project, and you want any technical help, so you can connect with me. And again, if you are looking for any college project, so you can also contact me. You can contact me on my WhatsApp. You can find my direct contact number on my YouTube channel. So go to my channel, go to the contact details, you'll find my email as well as my WhatsApp number. So you can ping me, we can discuss your issues, we can discuss your requirements, and we can sort them out. All right, so thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.